I don't usually speak to publicly, so I'm a little nervous. I'm here, though, defending our form of government, not to change it. I'm a Vietnam veteran. I wear this particular hat because I didn't belong to the 11th Cavalry, Armored Cavalry, but they saved my butt in Vietnam during the Tet Offensive. And I understand the term enemy within the wire. And I just want to ask you, do you understand what that means when you have enemies within the wire? We had our outlying units overrun, artillery units being overrun by the enemy. And the call was enemy within the wire. That means they're not only fighting hand-to-hand combat, they're putting on American uniforms. You don't know who they are. They're inside the wire. You don't know until they stab you in the back. And I'm afraid we have that going on in Washington. We have enemies inside the wire. I'm here as a third-generation American. My grandfather taught me about his love for this country. He left Slovakia, right next to the Ukraine. He came over as a teenager, and he put an American flag in his front yard, and it never came down except at dusk, and in the morning it went back up again. He did that his whole life. He taught me those values. He passed them on to my dad. He says, you're not going to speak Slovakian in my house. You're going to speak English. You're going to learn the American way. I've left the old behind. I'm here, an American. He taught me those values. Why did I go to Vietnam? I'll tell you. It was American family values taught to me by my grandfather about this country. And the other thing was what my grandfather was taught me about socialism, what he was running away from. I heard on the news at that time in Vietnam era, you'll remember, it's the domino effect. One country falls, the next will fall. If we don't hold Vietnam, South Vietnam, then it's going to be all Southeast Asia. And then it's going to be here. Well, I say it's here. We got enemies inside the wire. But our founding fathers made a way to defend us when it got out of control. And our plea is that you guys will do your job. The domino effect has happened all across this world. It's in Washington. Look around. We have enemies inside the wire. But they have a socialist agenda, one my grandfather talked to me about. Who pays for the votes? International corporations, chambers of commerce, globalists. It's not the American people. Has it been all the polls show what the American people believe. But we have enemies inside the wire. They're our leaders, and they're leading us in the wrong direction. I ask on my grandfather's knees to vote for the Constitution of States, Convention of States. I like to call it the Amendment of States, because it's our turn to put forth an amendment, not the people in Washington. Thank you.
I'm here live in Philadelphia at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. When you hear the phrase lives, fortunes, and sacred honor, these are the folks we should think of, those who anonymously gave their lives. Well, today you have a chance to volunteer. You need to volunteer for conventionofstates.com, the movement that's going to save the country. These folks are willing to step up and give everything. We need you to give just a little bit. Go to conventionofstates.com and volunteer today.